What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jocelyn back in the cup with another video. So on my Instagram, I had asked you guys to ask me some questions about my labor, delivery, the pregnancy, whatever the case may be. And so I have them here. Some of these questions I did already answer in my previous video or 2 videos back. I just wanted this video to be for anybody that didn't really want to watch that and they kind of just had their own questions and they want to see that. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So the first question was, how was your experience and did you get an epidural? I would say my experience was maybe like a 8 out of 10. I don't think there was anything that really could have made it any better. Obviously, I wish would have been different was the post-dural headaches or, like them kind of messing up my epidural. But other than that, my experience was great. The nurses and doctors were amazing. They tried to make my experience as comfortable as possible. And did I get an epidural? Yes, I did. If you hadn't heard, go watch the last video and you'll get into all the details. They basically went too far in my back and I started having post-dural headaches because my spinal fluid was leaking out. It was a whole big thing. The next question is rate your pain level. My pain, I had made it to 5 centimeters dilated before I started having really painful contractions, and obviously the contractions I would say was like an 8 out of 10. It wasn't even really the pain that was throwing me off. It was like the consistency. My contractions had picked up so fast. They were only a minute apart. It kept coming. They were so painful. I could barely breathe. I couldn't talk. My bad, y'all. Y'all know my cat loved to get in the shot. Okay, so the next question was, did you have any food aversions? I could not eat meat. I couldn't smell meat. I couldn't look at meat. I couldn't watch food videos. I could not drink water. Water absolutely disgusted me. What it reminded me of was I was drinking spit. That was what water was doing for me. I couldn't. Before my pregnancy and after, I absolutely love water, but during, So the way that I had to fix that was by drinking Propel waters, green tea, lavender tea, peach tea, stuff like that. That was hydrating but had a flavor to it. The next question was, how long were you in labor for? I was in labor for a little over 18 hours. I started the induction process 8 o'clock, 8:30-ish, January 13th. And I had my baby January 14th at 2:57 p.m. So did you have any weird cravings while pregnant? So weird cravings, not really. I was just kind of one of those people that wanted what I wanted when I wanted it. So I had a really big thing for bananas, macaroni and cheese, Wawa macaroni and cheese to be exact, Chick-fil-A macaroni and cheese. I loved fries, beef sticks. I just had a big thing for those. Powerade, Gatorade, Propel waters. I loved artichoke hearts. I was eating those a lot during my pregnancy. I wasn't mixing anything or combining nothing. It was just, has your coochie been the same? I would say so. I mean, after I had my baby and I was washing down there and I was kind of feeling around, it was swollen, but it was not torn or wasn't falling off the bone. And I had absolutely no pain down there after I had my baby. So from my fiance's point of view, he says it's still amazing. So how did you manage to get back to feeling like yourself again postpartum? I'm 5 months postpartum and I'm still navigating postpartum and navigating who I am as a mother, who I am outside of being a mother. This is literally just a process and I'm learning as I go. I just want to say that to say, please do not be in a rush to try to get back to yourself. I was kind of being hard on myself by 2-3 months postpartum. Okay, why have I not bounced back yet? Why do I still feel groggy? Why am I not getting the hang of this mom thing? Am I doing a good job? Being just overly hard on myself for somebody that has never had a kid before and somebody that is an only child. I don't even know what it takes to be a parent or raise a kid. So give yourself grace. This is your first time doing it, and if it's not your first time doing it, every kid is different. You are freshly postpartum until you hit a year, and then after that you're still postpartum, but you're not fresh. You're gonna experience a lot, and that is okay. How was your recovery afterwards? I had lots of bleeding afterwards because they normally tell you bleed for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, but I had bled for 8 or 9 weeks after I had my baby. And at first I thought it wasn't normal and I thought that I was experiencing not preeclampsia, but I'll put the name of the word up here. I'm having a brain fart right now. But I had talked to my doctor and she said, nope, you're perfectly normal. You can bleed for 8-9 weeks after having a baby, but as long as you're not experiencing other symptoms like dizziness and vomiting and nausea and all that kind of stuff, you're good. Besides the post-dural headaches that I was having for basically a week after having my baby, the recovery was great. I was actually moving a little bit too much for somebody that had just had a baby. So any advice for the first few weeks after birth as a first-time mom? Accept help. please accept help. I'm one of those type of people that don't accept help because I feel like I always have to do it myself. I always have to have it all together. I'm still learning and navigating how to try to let my fiance do things for me because I'm just hyperly independent. But it takes a village to raise a child. Let people help you. Even if that's cook you a meal, wash your clothes, clean your room. I don't know what, like, even if it's just something small, like I'll wash your dishes, like just let people help you. I have a really close friend of mine and she was like giving me stuff and doing for me. And I'm just like, please, like I cannot accept this. Then it got to a point where it's like, baby, I know damn well I need this $20. And it got to a point where I'm like, let me stop saying no before she stopped offering. She'd be like, okay, all right. And just take some money back. No, thank you. Please give me that. I would say get off social media. Please get off of social media. Nobody posts when they're doing bad. Okay. So nobody's going to post the ugly side of having kids. Nobody's gonna post the ugly side of labor, childbirth, postpartum. Nobody's gonna post the ugly things. So when you get on social media and you see all of these amazing, great fairy tale things and you think that you're not doing something right, or that your postpartum journey is not going right, or your labor, your delivery is not going right because it doesn't look like someone else's, then you feel like a failure and it makes you feel horrible about yourself. Get off social media. Do a lot of prepping before the baby gets here. Make sure that you're prepping for yourself, like making sure that your hair is done and your nails are done, toes are done, or that you get a Brazilian wax. You will not have to worry about it for weeks to come after you have your baby. I got a Brazilian wax before I had my baby. I did not get a wax, a shave, a nothing 2 months after my baby was born. After she was born, because you just have better things to do. And after you have a baby, you not worrying about get back into doing the do. Did you tear? No, I did not tear. I don't really want to speak to this on whether this did play a role or not in it because I genuinely don't know. I started drinking raspberry leaf tea when I was about 34, 35 weeks pregnant, and I drank it all the way until the day I had my baby. And like perineal massages, I did those too. Ooh, this question is crazy. Do you want more kids? Absolutely the fuck not. Like, everybody wants to sit here and make it seem like it's such a fairy tale, that it's so beautiful and it's so amazing. No, it's not. You're risking your life to have a child. The simplest way it could be put. But even if I did, like right now, I'm not entertaining the idea of that at all. Like, my baby is 5 months old. I am nowhere near ready to have another one. After I just healed and did all the work to lose all the baby weight, get my body back right and get my mental back right, I just wouldn't want to undo all the work that I did. Like, no, I don't want no more kids. My fiance don't want no more kids. That's just the end of the discussion. The next question is, how did you deal with pregnancy guilt? So I think this question more so depends on how you interpreted it. Pregnancy guilt that kind of came from like negative comments or opinion, or, you know, feeling guilty about being pregnant. I don't know, but I'll give an answer for both. How did I deal with pregnancy guilt from the opinions of others? Was that like, I'm not gonna let nobody dim my moment. Like, a baby is a blessing. I don't care how anybody tries to paint it, especially if you were a bad parent or you're not a parent, so your opinion on the matter don't even count. So for the other part of that, how do you deal with pregnancy guilt if you feel guilty about being pregnant? Literally every parent feels it. Every parent has that moment where they get in their head and they analyze, like, am I ready to have a child? I feel guilty about doing this. It's not the best circumstance, whatever the case may be. Did any of us grow up perfectly? No, none of us did. None of us have perfect parents. None of us grew up in the most perfect environment or the perfect household. Even if a baby was planned, or even if the parents are married, or even if the money is there, everybody deals with some sort of guilt. Maybe they weren't ready to have a baby, or maybe the pregnancy isn't going how they thought it was gonna go. Maybe the person they're with changed. Like, there's a lot of different factors into that. But I think the main way is just that what you feel is normal. And it also makes you a great parent because you are thinking about things that bad parents don't think about. What's your daughter's name and how did you come up with it? So my daughter's name is Nadia, and I came up with her name because I went to school with a girl named Nadia, but her spelling was different. I was just like, wow, that's really pretty. I've never heard of it. So obviously fast forward later, I find out I'm pregnant. I find out I'm pregnant with a girl. Then I'm like, okay, names come into play. For me, it just gave princess name, and it was something I had only ever heard one other time. So kind of like rare in my opinion. But yeah, that's how I got her name. Is pushing really that bad? No, it's not that bad. I mean, at least when you have epidural. When I did have the epidural though, I could not feel myself pushing. So I did not know if I was doing it right. I'm just kind of bearing down like you go into the bathroom bathroom and she popped out. Shoot, I ain't even gonna lie, pushing might be the easiest part of the whole process. You so over being pregnant, you like, yes, let's push, let's go ahead and get this over with. And the last question is, will you be doing mommy content? And the answer to that is yes, I will be, because I want to cater to all of my audience who are moms, my audience who's not moms. I want to cater to everybody. My overall goal is just to do realistic content, and what's realistic for me is that I'm a mom and showing what that looks like in my life. I just always want to consider her safety and her privacy, so I would never like film her or get too personal. But yeah, there's ways that I could still film mommy content without always having the camera shoved in her face and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, how are we feeling about this blonde? If I wasn't worried that I would miss the black right after I did it, I would dye it this color permanently. If there's any questions that you would like to ask me, or, you know, be featured in one of my videos, you could just go to my Instagram and ask me some questions, because I'm always looking forward to doing things like that. I always want my content to be as realistic as possible. So, you know, yeah. Nonetheless, all of my socials will be linked down in the description box below, and I will see all you guys in my next video. Bye.